Hi, everyone. Welcome to Demo Day. We're here to celebrate Cohort 14. We've had over 100 entrepreneurs graduate through the Accelerator program at Venturepark Labs, and we're pleased to welcome a new cohort and welcome them to our alumni. I'm joined today by our founder, Arlene Dickinson, who has set the vision for Venturepark and made it reality. Arlene, great to have you here.
Always nice to be here, Mike. I love this day. I get really excited every time I know that Demo Day is coming up.
Well, we're really pleased to have you here. This is typically where I ask you a question, and I wanted to get this question absolutely perfect so I can inspire the entrepreneurs and panelists that are watching today. So I spent the weekend thinking about it, and I figured, you know what, why don't I just let artificial intelligence take it over? So I actually inserted into ChatGPT, what should I ask Arlene Dickinson? And here's where I came up with. So you've invested in various businesses through your work on Dragon's Den. What do you look for in a potential investment opportunity?
Wow, that's pretty smart AI right there, I would say. What do I look for? I look for, listen, I would assume that the products are all going to be really good and innovative. And so I look for innovation, and I look for making sure that there is product market fit that's been proven. But ultimately, I'm looking for an entrepreneur. And I'm looking for an entrepreneur that believes in a win-win, that they can win at the same time that their investors can win. I look for somebody who's very authentic and genuine. And I look for honesty and sincerity because, you're partnering with somebody. You have to believe in them. You have to, believe that they know what they're not good at and what they are good at. And they have to, want to have everybody along the ride with them, not just be winning on their own. So I'm looking for the entrepreneur, Mike. The product is important and it's absolutely table stakes, but a strong entrepreneur and a great entrepreneur is the difference between a successful business and one that isn't. Lots of great ideas lay on the cutting room floor because they didn't have great entrepreneurs attached to them.
Of course. Well, I think you'll see some great entrepreneurs today. First, we want to thank our sponsors, Sobeys, BMO, Trio Life, and Tories for making today a reality. Before we go to our first presenter, I do want to remind everybody that everyone at home can try their own Demo Day bundle box. We've got an assortment of some of the products we'll be reviewing today. So feel free to purchase that, and all the proceeds go to the entrepreneurs that are featured in the box. We'll move now to our first presenter today, and I'm really pleased to welcome to the virtual stage an entrepreneur from Winnipeg, Manitoba. She's bringing high protein and energy to the masses. Let's first hear the story of Cranked Energy Bars.
It was never supposed to be anything besides something for my family and friends, maybe. This kind of came out of tinkering in the kitchen, and the peanut butter coconut bar was born, and it just got into the hands of a whole bunch of people. My name is Cheryl Zealand. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and our product is Cranked Energy Bars. It's a fresh peanut butter-based protein bar that you find in the fridge and not on the shelf. I love protein bars in general. So when I created Cranked Energy, it was completely by accident. I actually burnt a pot of oatmeal on the stove when I was changing diapers for my twin boys at the time. And I said to myself, why does this have to be so hard? I'm not gonna eat now. I should just make something for myself that's grab and go, fresh, healthy. And I just kind of tinkered around the kitchen for 3 years, kind of exploded into certain retailers, and now we've grown into 17 flavors 7 years later and are set for getting outside of Manitoba and across Canada. I've always been interested in health and wellness in general, and it's nothing that was very clear, direct. I'm gonna start an energy bar company and I'm gonna get it across Canada. I fell into that through my passion for health and wellness and creating this bar for my family, and realized that if I loved it so much and my friends and family loved it so much, maybe there is an actual hole in the market for fresh protein bars. Not full of chemicals, preservatives, but something you can eat and feel good about, but is actually fun and interesting. And I wanted to develop that brand because I'm so passionate about it. It's got such a bad stigma out there of protein bars being chemical tasting, kind of maybe hurts your stomach sometimes. There's so many protein bars on the shelf to choose from. I think ours being fresh, no preservatives. We take your fun guilty pleasures like cookie dough and cookies and cream or mini egg even, and we turn it into a cranked bar that's good for you, is full of carbs, proteins, fats, everything you need, and can fill you up. Yeah, like peanut butter for us is the base of everything. It's the base for good, healthy fats, for energy, for our bars. It's kind of part of our daily life. On the personal side, Cranked is very committed to community service work. It's been part of my life since I was young. And then when I created Cranked Energy, it's one of our core values. We give back a ton of time and resources and product to our shelters and our marginalized communities and our northern communities. And just recently, 2 weeks ago, I was awarded the Queen's Jubilee Medal in Manitoba for the community service that we do. In the next year, I would love to see Cranked Energy grow outside Manitoba.
Cheryl, first of all, congrats. Like honestly, I love the story behind why you got into this in the first place and how you made it in the space, and hold on to that story, because when you build a business, sometimes we forget to tell about, the stories of how we got where we are. And so that's great. And listen, the refrigerated bar category is an emerging category. I mean, it's been around for a little bit of time, but there's not a lot of entrants into the marketplace. And what are you thinking in terms of how you're going to make sure that people and retailers will be able to get it into their refrigerators and make it something that people will be able to pick up?
Well, right now we've been really successful in Manitoba, at least in our Sobeys and Safeways, and we just signed Save On. We work really closely with the grocery managers and getting them on the shelves in the right spaces. We move around a lot. Sometimes we're in the dairy between butter and milk where everyone shops. Right at Eyes View, right? Grab and go. Everyone goes by there. Sometimes we're in the takeout, like they're grabbing the fresh, the pre-made stuff. So we've had really good success in Sobeys and Safeways, and we're trying to drive traffic through social media and obviously in-store sampling to taste it. I swear one bite and you're hooked. It doesn't taste like every other protein bar. That was my goal. Our fun flavors kind of play to the experience side of a protein bar, right? Instead of eating a whole bag of mini eggs, you get a high-end protein bar with like 1 or 2 mini eggs in it. And it's got that mind-body connection, because I'm all about balance. I believe you can have both worlds, that life doesn't have to be so cookie cutter all the time. You can be active and still have a cookie. So all our flavors are kind of based on what's trending, and we put it into this healthy bar format. Our biggest struggle is obviously fresh, logistical, getting it into stores. I don't know if logistically frozen trucks have caught up to small business in terms of, I can't ship a pallet right now. How do I get product in small quantities direct to stores? We've used the same type of technology as the HelloFresh box with dry ice, and that's worked for X amount of mileage. To BC, no, we're losing product if we're trying to ship it to BC. So distribution, obviously, maybe getting on with a distributor, with a frozen truck fleet. I've grown this company to where we're producing a ton of bars. I've got a whole production team, a 4,000 square foot facility, new packaging, the branding, social media. It's all done. It's just a matter now of post-COVID, taking this. My kids are a little bit older. I have a little bit of time now to do stuff like this and not, fixed between school hours all the time and running around after little ones. So I think this is going to be a really good year for us. I just need people to try it and fall in love with me as the owner and what we stand for in our community issues, and then also the bar itself.
Well, big congrats. 19 grams and the salted caramel pecan pretzel. It sounds delicious. So congrats.
Yeah, well, make sure you get some. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch at your office in Calgary.
Okay.
Thanks, Arlene and Cheryl. And now we'd love to hear from Stacy. Stacy is from Sobeys. She is the Director of Grocery Merchandising for Company, Thrifty Foods, and Local Development. Stacy, would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Serene, and congratulations, Cheryl. As you mentioned, you've had a successful play within a lot of our stores. And I know the rework that you've done on the packaging as of late is foundational. The transformation is significant. So you're iterating and moving along. And I think what we touched on that is so important is the innovation component and getting grocery retail up to speed on where that right placement is from a refrigerated snacking component. Where's the customer looking for it? So just carving out and knowing that you're ahead of the curve. We may be a little slower to catch up, but continue to find that space within the home of grocery retail shelves, and the customers will demand it. It's fantastic product. And I think to your point, it's also distribution. That will be the ease for the retailer. They know that you've got a strong distributor partner. We want to open our back doors once. So if you can create that partnership, we'll get a lot of stores on board to add it on to their orders and create just more opportunity for yourself. So the ease in the distribution and supply chain will be like well received from a retailer standpoint. So I think just continue to foster those relationships to find your home with that correct partner, and grocery retail space will catch up with the innovation as our customers will demand it, and we'll just have to distribute our share of shelf accordingly. So keep it up. Keep your ingredients simple and stay true to who you are. To Arlene's point, your story is foundational, and make sure you stay true to what you believe your product is.
Great.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl, any final thoughts before we roll the next video?
No, I'm just thank you both for commenting, and I think we're on the right track in terms of the focus that we have, and I'm working really, really hard post-COVID to get a better margin going, kind of playing around with the price point and our purchasing power with our ingredients and our suppliers, and maybe opening the door a bit better for distribution where we're still earning our profits and able to take on a distributor that way. So thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a premonition. You're going to have distributors banging down your door after this. Thanks, Cheryl.
Cheryl, keep your eyes steady on contribution margin. Keep your eye on that. Big time.
Yeah. I was actually talking to my accountant the other day about it. And I'm a CPA. That's the funny part. I'm a CPA, and I have a CPA do all my stuff, because having the second opinion on stuff has been beneficial for that. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Please welcome our next company, Tree Island Yogurt.
I'm Scott, and I'm the co-founder of Tree Island Yogurt with my wife, Marissa. We've been making yogurt on Vancouver Island for the last, it's actually just going on 10 years. We're the only family business making yogurt in Canada. Yogurt's a commodity food. We're trying to decommoditize yogurt. So if you look at the brands that you see on the shelf, Activia, Oikos, Olympic, Yoplait, your Liberté, you're talking about General Mills, Danone, Lactalis. So Tree Island is, a small business. We handcraft yogurt, slow cooked. We're really focused on ingredients. So, we're trying to, I would say, spread joy through nutritious food. Tree Island's a well-established brand. Marissa and I started selling yogurt on Vancouver Island 10 years ago. We've since grown our distribution into Vancouver, throughout BC, into Alberta, and premium grocery stores in Ontario. There were needs in the marketplace, right? And the processors at the time weren't really addressing those needs because of the supply managed system. They weren't able to create the products. There was no impetus. Like if you're making money and everything's fixed and everybody's just doing the same thing and it's good enough and you have 85 or 90% penetration, why bother innovating? Because you already got the captured market and the prices are fixed and everybody's happy that's in the game. So we're very excited to be approaching our 10th year anniversary. We started construction of a new facility in 2022. That'll be coming to completion early in 2023. It's going to give us a lot of new capacity, and we're really excited about growing into new markets in BC and throughout the rest of Canada for our grass-fed dairy. We've also innovated a new hemp protein and avocado oil plant-based dairy-free yogurt, which we are trialing right now, and we'll be launching in the spring in our new facility. And that's we've gotten a lot of great feedback on that, and we're excited to expand the sales of our new dairy-free product in 2023. Yeah, I'm really excited about this accelerator program. It's been fantastic to connect with other food entrepreneurs and take time away from the business to work on our strategy. So we're really excited to carry that momentum into 2023 and growing our business.
I really respect that you're trying to do the right thing by creating and innovating in a space that actually could use some innovation. And I love that it's a Canadian family that's doing it. So first of all, just big congratulations to the two of you and to your family for doing this. Question for you. You listed off a lot of competitors, and it is a highly competitive space. What are you going to do to try and stand out on shelf? Like, how are you going to make sure people know that that story is that it is a Canadian family, product that has goodness at its heart?
Yeah, we're definitely doing that through our package. That's our version 1, and we have another one coming forward, so that our website and our sales materials are all coordinated to share that story. So
it's a busy shelf. It's very difficult, actually. And so, yeah, the last year and a half, we've been working really hard actually with our brand and trying to find a way to simplify our package, give it stronger shelf presence, but maintain that family feel and that sensibility around, a family owned and small crafted artisan product.
What are you doing here? What if I pull this here, this tab here on the package? Tell me what happens.
Yeah. So actually, I've got a sample cup here. If you pull the tab, you can remove the paper, and it's actually printed on both sides. So you can read the sort of inside story as you eat the yogurt, or after you pull the paper off. This is kind of an innovative package. So it's half the plastic of all the other yogurt cups on the shelf right now. And it allows you to recycle the paper separately from the plastic. The paper forms a sort of structural reinforcement, so we could reduce the amount of plastic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks, Arlene.
Love it.
Stacey, your thoughts?
I am a fan of your brand, a fan of the innovation. We talked about this category is highly saturated by a lot of big name brands, corporate companies. So I think the one thing and advice I would have is just to continue to stay true to who you are and your mission, and to not get lost in the competition of the category and with the scale on your mind. Because I think if you stay true to your mission, you will grow that customer relationship, because there is such a nuanced piece of your brand and what you're doing differently with yogurt that the others are not. And I think it's that education to the consumer. Vancouver Island, obviously where you're from, brand relevance. So how will you continue to share that story so that you're relevant across the country? What about your brand will allow your relevance to scale, so the customer will know to pick up and realize how you're nuanced, and maybe be willing to pay a little bit more for all the benefits per that education. So if your strategy and plan is sort of baked in and planned, it would be great to understand what that long-term reach and scale will look like for yourselves, so that the customers coast to coast understand what a family-owned business on Vancouver Island is doing that is so unique within a category that is quite competitive. But well done with all the traits that you have in this particular product.
thanks.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Great feedback. Scott and Marissa, any final thoughts?
It's been a lot of fun. Actually, I want to thank everybody for being here today, and really enjoyed our time in Cohort 14 and with Venturepark Labs. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. On to the next company, Lucky Speed Sauce.
I'm Sean. I'm the CEO and founder of Lucky Speed Sauce. It's a transition from previous businesses I was in, and we were having these seizures at the lakes, so we decided to produce it and sell it on a larger scale, and I needed to find a new vision. I sold my prior businesses due to, life changes, and wanted to grow in a different direction. So we decided to start Lucky Speed Sauce. This is a one ingredient solution to the seizures. typical Caesar is made out of Tabasco and Worcestershire. This has that plus another 7 ingredients that makes for a full flavored drink. It's a whole new experience, actually. With a normal Caesar, if you add too many drops of Tabasco, it makes it hot and undrinkable for people. This has a full flavor that if you add more to it, it just enhances the flavors, but it doesn't wreck the drink. People that want to make a Caesar at home and don't want to bring 1,000 different ingredients to do it, it's all in one can, and it's really simple and foolproof. At Lucky's, we wanted to create the easiest, best tasting Caesar that Canada has to offer. We have a couple different packaging. We have the single serve packets, so you just add 1 packet to your Clamato and your vodka, and it really takes the guesswork out of it. And then we have a bulk version where you would just add a ½ ounce to your Clamato and your vodka. But those cans will do 50 Caesars, so it goes a long way. They also are good for cooking, so they're good in all your spaghetti sauces, meatloafs, steak marinades, you name it. One of the things that excites me the most is the fact that people are going to have the best Caesars in their home at any time.
Great video, Sean. Fun fact, my children's new favorite drink is a Caesar made with Lucky Speed sauce, and yes, they're of drinking age. I'm not a drinker, but I love to cook with it, so super well done. Joining Arlene on the panel is Gary Hughes, Local Development Manager for Sobeys. Arlene, would love your thoughts.
Well, listen, I really love that you have, first of all, how Canadian is it to be sitting around the cottage to come up with an idea for Caesars? I love that whole kind of origin story. What's interesting to me is this packet, is the portability of this. And you know, the question I have for you is, like, there's lots of Caesar mixes out there. Are you able to take this and put it into some sort of a, you know, environmentally friendly format so that it can be single serve and that people can take it with them and it be more portable? Because I think the portability is actually a big selling feature for you. Gary will have a better opinion of that at the retail side, but I love the margin that could be possible in this, and I love the portability of it, and I love the innovation.
Yeah, so the packaging, that was kind of a solution to my big barrel that I have. So I bought the machine that uses that forming technology with that current packaging, but I haven't been able to find too much stuff that would, you know, make the ease of packaging it with, you know, the long shelf life of the product. So I imagine there's something out there or coming over the horizon to, you know, hopefully it would work with the existing machine that I have, but you know,
there's lots of offsets for it to think about. You know, you're not if you transport it in small size, you don't have the same carbon offset that or carbon footprint that you would have if you were shipping big, heavy, you know, boxes and stuff. So there's probably other ways to think about it from an environmental perspective. But I love this, and I think there's an idea here that's really worth pursuing on this single serve size.
And those actually go into a tin pack. That is actually recyclable. Yeah. So I actually made a 3D printed design for that. It's on my website that you can download, and you just slide those in and you can keep all your bolts and stuff in. I farmed for 35 years. So my dad always had little baby jars full of bolts or whatever else. So it's that packaging was in my mind. I wanted not just to be recycled, I actually wanted to be repurposed. So, and those little tins, I can't imagine people throwing them out. So
a great matchbox afterwards. You would be a really big hit at any party you could show up to with these in hand. So
yeah, I take them down to Mexico too, and people are always I'm always the favorite guy for Canadians down there wanting Caesars. So
yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Arlene. Gary.
Great job, Sean. I've worked with you a little bit over the last year. We are carrying this in the stores. I do agree with Arlene. I do love the convenience of the single serve. If you're going out for sure, you're taking a bottle and you don't want to carry all those ingredients going camping. The portability of this is fantastic. The big can, I love that as well too. However, I think it's almost a little too big. It's almost like an institutional size, and I think probably a more retail friendly size would be beneficial for somebody that's making it at home, because this might not be it's easy, but if you're making a whole bunch of them, there'd be way more cost effective to be able to buy it in a smaller style can. But I do love this packaging as well. This is very unique, something different in the grocery store than what we have kind of today, where everything seems to be in a bottle. So well done. And my other last comment would be on the ingredient side for cooking. I really think that's an education piece that you really need to try and get out there to customers. Maybe it needs to be on the packaging, like try me as a marinade or something like that. Great opportunity and more versatility for one product. Well done.
Sean, any final thoughts?
Well, thanks for the input. I want to put QR codes on the cans that link to a YouTube channel to kind of show what you can do with it. I have a foodie that he's cooking with it with his Traegers. So he's got a pretty good following. And for the Caesar, I'm going to be doing the world's largest Caesar in Calgary here in May 20th. So I'm hoping to get some more eyes with that. So I'm excited, and thank you guys for your input.
Thanks, Sean. Fun fact is that travel to parties don't mind carrying a massive can. They don't care. They'll just carry it. But for single serve is really good for trial as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's move to the next video. You are going to see Jagbir Singh for Refresh Botanicals Skincare.
I'm Jagbir Singh. I'm the founder of Refresh Botanicals and Swift Innovations. So my own background is a PhD in nanotechnology with almost 14 years of research and innovation experience. The purpose behind Swift Innovation was to bring out that research which is going in the lab to the market. So the lab to market transition is something which is needed because there is so much going on inside the lab. We want that to come to the people so that they are using it. So Swift Innovations on a Refresh Botanicals brand, and the brand stands out from the market being natural, organic, science-backed, EcoCert certified. We use the technologies such as nano-encapsulation and microemulsification, which enhances the efficacy of the bioactives which we are using in it, making them almost 100 times more effective than the regular skincare. Plus, we are in the process of democratizing the organic and natural skincare. We believe that skincare doesn't need to be very costly in order to be effective.
We have 3 research projects which we dealt with, and those are mainly related to the natural product extraction. We are different from our competitors in terms of natural processes which we use for our production and formulation. Nano encapsulation is also very different thing we are using for our formulation. Nano encapsulation is not new, but what is the different we are doing? We are again using skin friendly and natural things for that encapsulation process. Our manufacturing facility is EcoCert certified first of all, and then we have a very specialized homogenizer which has 500 kilograms capacity, which we can deal in one batch, one go, and it has uniqueness in terms of temperature, pressure and speed control. By controlling these parameters, we can fix what type of formulation ingredient we are looking for.
So currently we are offering all this facial care. So that includes facial moisturizers, facial cleansers, face serums. Then we also offer facial toner, then organic rose water, facial mask. So these are some of the offerings. And recently we also launched our men care line, specifically catering to men facial care, and this is all natural and organic, not using any sort of chemicals, sulfates or anything which can be harmful to the skin.
Very well done, Jagbeer and Sippy. You guys got me on our first meeting together when you said you want to democratize high-end skincare for all Canadians. I mean, fabulous. I am sold. It works for my family. We have very sensitive skin and it's amazing. So well done. Joining Arlene today is Robert Stewart from our, he is the head of headquarters operations, Canadian business and banking. Arlene would love to hear your thoughts.
I gotta say, you're just so impressive. You know, when you talked about why you had built your business and the educational experience and the technology experience and your background, I just thought, wow, this is great that you wanted to apply all that education and knowledge to a product that's really well needed. And I've tried the product on my hands. My hands now look 10 years younger than they did. No, it is a really nice product. It doesn't leave a stickiness to it. It's got a great smell. I mean, I don't know about you, but first thing I always do is smell a skincare product to see if it's going to be something that I want to put on my skin. But I can tell the difference in your product, and trust me, you know, I'm an investor in skincare, know quite a bit about this space, and really think you're onto something very interesting. So, you know, congrats on just the effort it's taken to get here, because I know it's not easy to go from the idea to this bottle. This is a long journey with a lot of roadblocks to make happen in Canada. So well done. That's very impressive. Question for you. It is a very competitive space. People with lots of money and lots of, you know, ability to price compete and to go after you. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to make people trial you so that they can feel the difference? Because that's what it's about.
Thanks, Arlene, for the wonderful feedback. How we differentiate from the competitors, basically there are three important aspects where we are differentiating from others. One is natural and organic term itself. It is, I think, highly abused and most misused term in the market in terms of skincare. Now, we are not saying it is just organic and natural. It is being certified by EcoCert. So EcoCert is a gold standard in skincare, basically. So that's one aspect. It's not just organic and natural. It is EcoCert certified organic and natural. Second thing is about the price. We are competing on the price. So anything, the comparable product is in the range of $70, $75 and above. Our products are all below $30. That's a second aspect.
This is below $30? Below
$30. And third important aspect is about the science behind it. It's not about just blending 2 or 3, ingredients or 5 ingredients or 10 ingredients. It's about encapsulating the actives, which are enhancing the efficacy. We are not talking about the shelf life over here. We are talking about beyond shelf life, which is the shelf life of the actives into it. These are the three important parameters we are standing out from the other brands.
Well done on the packaging. It does have a good science feel to it. It does feel like it's, like there's something incredible here as soon as you pick it up, and even in the feel of the product in your hand from a bottling perspective. So good luck. I think it's awesome. And I hope you are able to break through on the shelf. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Arlene. Evan, would love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks very much. And congratulations, Jagveer and Sippy. I really enjoyed listening to your story and, of course, trying out the product. I have to agree on the packaging. To me, it's really nice and clean and looks like the kind of thing I would see on the shelf at the spa. I really like the price point. Compares very well to other moisturizers in the market. I like that it's available, of course, in Canadian dollars, and that you've highlighted that it's an all Canadian company. I think that's so important in this market with so many shoppers looking to support local businesses, which clearly you are. I had a look at your social media content, which I think is really well done. I love the demos and the product benefits that were clear from your posts there. I did notice that you had 2 different handles on social media, Refresh Botanicals India and Refresh Botanicals. with two different websites. You might think about whether or not you want to merge those profiles together to avoid any buyer confusion and make sure you've got a one-stop shop. I had a chance to try out the moisturizer, and I gotta say, I'm usually a soap, water, and dry kind of guy, but I'm definitely thinking about adding this to my routine. I've got it on now, and my skin feels great, hydrated. And I really like that there isn't any strong scent or any kind of greasy feeling on the skin when I used it. Overall, I'm a big fan of this product for all kinds of reasons. I like your website. It's full of great information and skincare tips, which I found really helpful. The only things I would suggest is to think about maybe expanding your distribution. I could only find the product available direct through your website. What about Amazon and others? And of course, that comment about your social media. Could we think about merging those together so it's all in one place? You can drive more traffic to one spot and maybe add some currency conversion capability for other countries. Thanks for giving me a chance to try it out.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much for the lovely feedback.
These are heavy hitters here, giving you amazing advice. It's like a brand you can trust. Like, amazing to hear that. Thank you all. Jagveer, any final thoughts?
No, I think that was a kind of very wonderful experience attending this program. And Arlene, special thanks to you for creating this platform. And I was wondering, like, we have been through this program and we have learned a lot since past few weeks. Is there any way to kind of collaborate or, take it forward and use that knowledge and information what we gained through past weeks to get some tangible results in future? That's one aspect. And from Robin, as a founder of a growing business, there is always a challenge to get some capital for expansion. And as you mentioned rightly, that we need to be present in more retail outlets and more retail presence is required. Is there any support coming from, is there any initiative or program from BMO side to help such, brands, the emerging brands?
I love it. That's an entrepreneur right there. I love it.
Absolutely. And we love to work with emerging brands and businesses like you. The key always on the entrepreneur's journey, I think, is to provide or find great partners, professionals that understand your story, can work with you and help you put the tools, advice, and guidance in your hands when you need it to help you expand and grow your business. And at BMO, we have a ton of great banking professionals who are able to give you just that kind of advice. I'd love to introduce you to a member of our team. Let's connect offline and talk to you about how we can get you connected.
And I will say that BMO does put their money where their mouth is. They, it is a financial institution that really does support small business and does across the organization is very driven to help. And so there's a good offer that you just got to connect with them and to see what they might be able to do for you. On the program side, I would tell you that absolutely we need to figure out how to continue these things moving forward and continue the programs. And it is a not-for-profit organization, and so we are limited in some respects, but we're looking to, that we have the support of a lot of great sponsors such as Sobeys you've just seen and BMO and others. And, I'm sure we'll be able to expand this into the future. And I would give your ideas to Serena and Mike and Callian and, just let them know, Rob, they want it. We all want to figure out how to make the program successful into the future. Got well over 100 alumni now, so there's lots of learning there and lots of ways to collaborate. So thank you for the feedback.
Thank you.
I love an entrepreneur who asks for the order.
Yeah,
I think they both respect you for that. Thank you so much. So on to the next set of entrepreneurs. I'd like to introduce Flight Food.
Our product is an all-natural travel aid. So it's called Flight Elixir. You take it when you fly, you rip it open, it comes in powdered form, add it to water, shake it up, and you drink one serving for every 4 hours of flying, and it counteracts the 6 health effects of flying so that when you arrive, you feel awesome and ready to hit the ground running. I started this business because way back in the day after college, I worked as a flight attendant for a couple years, and during that time, I constantly felt run down, and I just started to question what was happening to my body there. I thought, if I choose to do this as a career, I wonder what the long-term health effects of flying are on my body. I literally researched what happens to your body when you fly, and it kind of came out with 6 different things. I then wanted a product to support that.
I knew that this was something that I really wanted to help build with her. And so she asked me to come on board, and I was thrilled.
So, first we needed to see if the product was something that other people besides myself wanted. So I created a Facebook group called the Flight Attendant Nutrition Hub and grew that group to almost 10,000 flight attendants and pilots across Canada and the US. Really started just to position myself as an expert in the space and started to just really dig into the pain points, like what flight attendants, what pilots were feeling and what they didn't like about their jobs and like what they were experiencing at work. And then I kind of just pitched the idea to the group and said, I've got this idea for a supplement that could make you feel better when you fly. Like, would you guys be interested? And there was a lot of interest, and we pre-sold the first version through that group. So this year we launched direct to consumer. So we launched on our native website and activated Amazon as a channel. Next year it's really focused on 2 things. So going into retail, a lot of our customers are asking where they can find us in stores. So we're excited to be able to serve them in that way. And then the second thing is expanding the product line in terms of flavors. So our product right now, Flight Elixir, comes in 1 flavor. It's a strawberry lemonade flavor. It's great.
Being able to have something that really helped benefit and just arrive feeling so much better, to enjoy your trip and whatever it was that you were doing, just felt like it was going to help a lot of people.
Girls, well done. Flying has never been better for me, so I'm a fan. But you're also a good example of a crawl, walk, run strategy with your product. So super well done. Arlene, would love your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm gonna pack it and take it on my trips with me. I'm not proud to say it because I know that there's lots of negative around flying so much and the impact on the environment. But over the years, I think I'm close to 3 million miles on one airline alone. So I fly a lot, and it is absolutely everything you just talked about and what this product will do for you is needed. And it does have impact on your body. I often think about, I think I fly more than a lot of the flight attendants do. And, it's bad enough when it's just, there's so much bad about it, but there's sometimes seems to be a necessary evil. But regardless, love the innovation and the idea and that you're trying to actually do something helpful for people in their careers. I would be curious whether or not there's any use outside of flying. Like, it seems to me that a lot of the benefits that are in here could be applied to many, like whether you're driving in if you're a truck driver or if you're doing anything where you're long hauls in any sort of activity. Is there other uses for this beside flying that you've explored?
Yeah, great question. Initially when we created the product, it did come from or stem from, working in aviation. And since then it's really transcended past, pilots and flight attendants, and it's really anyone who's flying and anyone who's traveling. In terms of other use cases, absolutely. We do have people who purchase our product and use it for road trips, use it for, any kind of means or modality of transportation. A lot of people use it for hangovers as well. And we get this question asked a lot. And so the short answer is yes. We use incredible ingredients that are really beneficial for all sorts of different things happening in life. But really, what makes us different is we wanted to create something that was specific to travel. So we took a look at kind of what's happening in the travel or the supplement space, right? There's sports supplements, there's supplements for sleep, for energy, all these different activities and events happening in our life, but there was nothing specifically formulated for the experience of flying. And there's, over like 5 million people who are flying every single day. And so, short term, this is our second year in business. Short term, our strategy is really going deep and then going wide. So we really wanted to be known and build a brand that's known for travel. But there's a lot of, Jamie and I talk all the time about this. We definitely have, bigger aspirations and ideas of how we can activate other channels as well.
Yeah, well, there's a good halo effect to, owning one area and then having people go, well, if the experts in flying like it and the people who, use it in that category, then you can expand it. So I think it's great. I love the innovation, love that it's, two women that are building it and have taken the energy and effort to build something great and to innovate in a category that probably hasn't had much innovation in it. I'm guessing there hasn't been a lot of people thinking like this. So congrats, and I hope it does very well.
Thank you.
I'll be a user.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear what you think.
Robin, would love to hear what you think, your thoughts.
Congratulations, guys. Another great story. Let me start at the top and say, I really like the logo. I really like the brand. It feels very designer, very high end, a good target for the frequent flyer population. I think we all know that flying can be stressful and tiring. So I think the idea is a real game changer. Something to give you a little bit of extra energy and an immunity boost on your way to your destination. That's not a positioning I've seen before. I think it's really smart. The strawberry lemonade flavor, I loved it. Great, refreshing. And I think, as a couple of people have mentioned, it may be good for traveling, and it may be good for other use cases too. I can see other alternative uses for the product. I think the size is really nice. It's compact, will fit really easily into my briefcase when I'm traveling. I like the price point, very accessible, and the subscribe and save option, I think, is really smart way to engage your customers. Instagram, well marketed, shows you where you can purchase the product, grabs your attention. I think you've really done a good job on the social pieces as well. I did want to ask about the purchasing options. It looks like you can only purchase the product in US dollars. And I hear that you're on the Amazon channel on Amazon.com, but I couldn't find you on Amazon.ca. Is that a deliberate strategy to focus only on the US market, or are you looking at opening more Canadian channels?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are looking at opening more Canadian channels, so that's definitely a focus this year. We're currently in the process of applying for an NPN, which is kind of what has prevented us from launching on Amazon Canada or just really selling into Canada in general. So in terms of, ease of getting into the market, definitely launching initially in the US was the quickest way to see if this idea had legs. And, we've seen a lot of really great traction. So we're excited to officially bring it to Canada this year.
Great. Let me sum up by saying, as someone who travels a lot, I'm really excited to add this to my carry-on. It tastes delicious. It's easy to use. It's accessible for all buyers and has a great price point. The only thing I'd be thinking about is which I know you already are, is growing your brand awareness. Think about what additional partnerships, influencers, contacts at local airport stores you might be able to arrange to push your product to the next level. And then bringing it to the Canadian market. I can't wait to see this in my local Toronto airport stores. Congrats.
Thank you.
I told you girls, I'm a bit of a stick pack junkie. I love stick packs. I pulled a whole bunch out when we met. I'm just super proud of you guys. Final thoughts, over to you two.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time, both of you. This has been a really fun journey for us. The mentorship that Venturepark has provided has been phenomenal, and the experiences has been really, really wonderful. And thank you for your time today and for your wonderful feedback and really just being so thoughtful in your responses and providing all of that information. It's truly helpful for us. And as two eager entrepreneurs that are ready and so hungry to get into this market and to really capitalize on it, we appreciate your time and all of that energy. So thank you.
That's really kind of you to say, and I can tell you it's evident that you guys have the right enthusiasm and the right approach, and we're thrilled that you're part of the program.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. On to the next video. I am here to introduce Swirlies.
So one of the things I focus on is product sourcing. So we do travel around the world and look for different products that are not available in Canada or would be something new to Canada. And that's kind of how we started. And I also take care of our company's social media. About 7 years ago, we brought in products for private label. So we had other companies come to us and private label different candy and snacks. Then about 3 years ago, there's a point where we thought, why don't we get a brand of our own and try making our own brand, and that's how Swirlies was born. So what sets Swirlies apart from our competitors is, I think one of the main things that we wanted to do with our products was stick to being vegetarian. So Swirlies confectionery, or hard candy, is vegetarian, and why I'm stressing on that is because a lot of the candy that's available in the market today has animal gelatin in it, and a lot of people don't know that.
We said let's look at products that are cleaner in terms of the ingredients, and also products that do not harm the environment and are products that people are looking forward to. At the same time, our objective was to keep the products affordable so that the everyday common man could enjoy these products. I think in terms of growth plans, we're looking at adding to the confectionery range. At present, you'll see that we have a range of hard candy products. We're going to look at launching a soft candy product this spring or summer of 2023. With regard to the fryams, we're looking at educating more customers about what the fryams are, because most folks have never seen a product like the fryams, and I think that's a big piece of what we're going to do. But I would say over the next 3 to 5 years, our goal would be to make Swirlies a household name, both in Canada and the United States, where folks know that this is a brand that can be trusted, this is something I can take home, this is something that's great for my kids and my family. I think the program's been very good for all of us as small entrepreneurs, because we're all so busy and stuck with our everyday routines, and there's no time to really think of the business from outside the box. I'd say any entrepreneur who's serious about his business should look at programs like this.
That was great. Thank you so much, Erwin and Nalini. Hello, everybody. I'm Rob Horitz, and I've had the great pleasure of mentoring the companies presenting today. It's truly exciting to bring their stories to you all. Joining the discussion now will be Patrick Heffernan, Executive Vice President, Sales, Brand Development, and Procurement from Tree of Life. Thanks for joining us. Arlene, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this business?
Well, I'm pretty fascinated by the fryams. I have to say that was, I was going like, what? How does that work? And what is it? And honestly, and I love that you're thinking about, how a candy doesn't have to be bad for you, like that there's a way to enjoy that. I've eaten half the pack of the peppermints already because I love peppermint, and it's got a really great mint flavor. You've done a great job. It's got a great mouthfeel. It's got a nice crunch, but you don't feel like you're going to break your tooth when you crunch into it. So congrats on just kind of innovating in the space. Again, a very crowded space. And there are other competitors out there that are claiming to make the same type of claims. So how are you going to stand out? A question I ask everybody, but the fryam seems to me to be something that could be quite a big deal in terms of, because it's so innovative and fun. But where's your focus? Is your focus in this? Is your focus on the fryams? What are you focusing on?
Nalini, I'll start. So, Aline, I think we started off first with the confectionery.
Okay.
And the focus was on being vegetarian, better for you, having as clean a deck as possible. But when we got into the story with the Fryams, I think our focus changed because we saw the kind of surprise that folks had with just the kind of product line it was and how delicious those products were. So I would honestly say over the last 6 months, we've been focusing more on the Fryams because that's been growing quite steadily and rapidly. But on the confectionery space, I think the way we've tried to differentiate ourselves is to focus on the better for you, healthier for you aspects of what we've got. Even the mints that you're having are made with real peppermint oil and spearmint oils. It's just that we still haven't gotten to any of the majors where a Sobeys or someone like that would take us on in the better for you section. So I think that's the struggle that we as small entrepreneurs are having with the confectionery.
Yeah, just a couple quick points of something for you to consider. Think about your packaging again. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but think about your packaging being more environmentally conscious, specifically and particularly because you're trying to be a better for you brand. That's, talking about kind of healthier and those things and packaging really does matter. And there's a lot of packaging. There's the packaging here, and then there's the individual packaging inside. So you might want to consider that to think about how that looks. And from a design perspective, just might look at your design. Your product's excellent. The other thing I'd suggest is you think about focus. You've got both product that you're selling commercially to restaurants and to chains, et cetera. Then you got product that's at the retail. And when you're a startup company, it's very hard to service both of those effectively and have enough capital to do so. So you might want to just pick a lane right now and think about where you want to focus for your growth. You have great product, you have great opportunity ahead of you, and you have some really smart innovation. So again, just try and focus and think about your packaging. And I wish you luck. Like I said, I'm pretty picky about my peppermint. So I think I've, let's see, it's only 35 calories for 5. So it's not bad. I'm probably only, 10 calories in. So I'm okay. Anyway, good luck. It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Patrick, what feedback or advice would you have for these entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think, as Arlene alluded to, and you suggested that you got into the sweets category through their private label development, and that alludes to where that category is going with more of a commodity feel on price, and that's the key. So to Arlene's point, if you're going to start to break into that category, you're going to have to look to differentiate yourself because it is somewhat of a commodity, especially as you know from your private label side of the business. So you may want to look at, to Arlene's point, exactly that is private label won't generally go down the packaging environmental side of the business. So you might want to be able to go down that road. I know some of the majors are really looking at listing products that have less plastic packaging, et cetera. So that was a good call out from Arlene and something that may allow you to really stand out amongst price points in the category. So, and then the other thing you mentioned, which I thought was important, was, hey, we're vegan. Most of the candy is not. They've got animal products that are put in them. But yet I don't find that gets called out in your packaging. So if you're going to call out, if that's going to be a differentiation for you, it should be very visible to the consumer. So you may want to, as you look at updating your packaging, may want to look at some logos that are differentiate to call out to consumers, like gluten-free, vegan, et cetera. So the consumers aren't searching for the product, trying to figure out what it is and why I would buy this versus something else. And I think when you present to retailers, they'll be looking for that. What is the differentiation points? When it's on the shelf, will the consumer be able to call those out quickly as they run down the aisle? So, but overall, I mean, yeah, it's the packaging is good. I think it just needs to be refreshed a little bit, especially with some of the logos that you see on it and the call outs. And then with the Fryams, yeah, the challenge there would be, again, pick a lane would probably split your time. And that's the problem when we see people that, when you're in a presentation, you want to say, hey, I have this, but hey, by the way, I have this, and that may not be the right buyer, and then something else. And now they're not sure if you're really focused on what you presented, if that's what you are. And then I think the challenge is, it sounds like you've got some good legwork going on the food service side, which is great. From a retail point of view, having a having a snack product that the consumer has to do something with, like cook or fry, that may be a challenge for consumers, as they say, well, like, you just want to grab a bag of chips and eat it or something. Now I've got to heat up my oil, fry it. That could be a challenge. So it sounds like if you're going to pick a lane, the food service would be the way to go for that one. That would be my only advice. But otherwise, it's the frying ones are very interesting. I have to say that is truly innovative, and that was something I haven't seen before. The candy, maybe not the most innovative. I get you have to differentiate, but the fry-ins was something I haven't seen, and that would be something that's very much unique. So good job to both of you. And but yeah, I think pick a lane would be probably the best lane to figure out what you're most passionate about and where you think the best opportunity for growth would be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you.
That's amazing feedback. Thank you, Erwin and Nalini, for your time. Now let's bring our next presenter, Christine Teschel of Sunbee Environmental Solutions.
Our products are all natural, affordable, feel-good purchases because they're non-toxic and create a healthy environment for your family and your pets. My name is Christine Teschel, and I'm the founder and creator of Sunbee Environmental Solutions. I started the business at the peak of the pandemic as there was a huge shortage of disinfectant and hand sanitizers. Okay, so we saw a need based on all the chemicals we were finding in a lot of the products that are out on the shelves that really wreak a lot of havoc on your body, as our skin is our largest organ. So we felt it was important to put products out there that we could feel good about and that were not harmful to your kids, your pets, and your family. Since we started the company, we've been able to connect with veterinarians to create products that they also found a need in their industry. And through that, we signed a Canadian national distributor that sells to the veterinarians across Canada. So our plan is to bring on a couple of salespeople and also secure a national distribution deal for our other products for across Canada. Well, we'd like to see Sunbee become a household name that people can trust, feel good about, and be able to afford. You can find Sunbee in Safeways and Sobeys, Walmart Marketplace, veterinarian clinics, dental clinics, medical clinics across Canada.
Great job, Christine. Super exciting products and very exciting. Arlene, do you have any advice specifically for this entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean, I love the area that you started in, how COVID kind of got you going, and then you evolved from that. So well done. You do have a lot of SKUs. Again, I think focus will really help you just because of the stage of business you're at. So, from pet care through to, I've got the mouth guard spray in my hands here. It's a little bit, it might be too many SKUs against a category that needs very kind of close. Here's what I focus on. So love it. Think you're onto something really smart here. I love that it's all natural. Wish you great success in it, and good for you for doing it through all of the hurdles of COVID and everything else. Just, I'd say focus and maybe think about whether you want to try and expand later on and just stay in with your core products for now, but you'll do very well, and congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome. Patrick, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's actually funny, Arlene. I was thinking the same thing. When you get into categories like this, you've got some, in certain areas that you're in your SKU profile, you've got some heavy competition, not just in mainstream, but there are some products that are touting to be all natural, maybe not as all natural as yours, but it becomes a tough definition for the consumer to understand when you say all natural and you're like, well, he's not really all natural. Well, the label says that. So I'm going to have to assume it. So, but what I found was in my past is that some of the success comes from exactly what Arlene's saying, is find an anchor, a product that permeates into the consumer so they get to know your name, they get to recognize your product, and then you can expand out from there to say, hey, I know you buy X, now I'm introducing Y. And versus a more of a shotgun approach that says, hey, I've got 40 things here, try to buy one of them. And the challenge with that too is that you, from a retail point of view, you're all over the store. So from a digital footprint, it's great. You go on to Walmart Marketplace and you'll see all your products there. But in a retail location, you're going to be in the mouth section or the oral care section, then the pet section, then the cleaning section. So you got to remember the consumer is not going to see your brand in its brand blocking. They will see segments and little pieces here and there. So that would be my advice. But I think when you get into certain things like the pet deodorizer, huge market for that. Pets continue to expand, that category's growth. So there's always, it's a high demand category versus say the mouth guard, which would be a lot more niche. And that maybe get you into the category where people start to say, hey, I could buy that and I could see that. And it sounds like you've made some strong inroads into that pet care category, which can easily translate into the more mainstream retail side of the business. So, but great ideas, all natural is kind of where the consumer is going, getting away from harsh chemicals, etc. So hats off, the packaging is nice and clean. You've got the key call outs on the packaging. So you remember to put the pet on for the pet. You've got kind of the mouth background so that those key to consumers going, what is that and what's it for? So yeah, it's not too large and the price point seems reasonable. So hats off to you. I think you've got something there. It's just, again, a little, I would absolutely agree with Arlene, focus on getting as far as you can down one road and then expand from there versus trying to be everything to everyone, maybe at one time. But
thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. So we have, with all those products, we created some shippers or stands. So most of our products, we've been very blessed by our supporters from the retailers in putting our products in certain locations, but also our stands. We've kind of designed them to accommodate the products, but for sure we are focusing more on the pet products. That's seems to be where there is a big niche in the market, and at this point, that's kind of where we've started to really take off. Thank you.
Go where the consumer is barking.
Right. Yes. Yes.
That's great discussion, great feedback. Thank you, everybody. Up next, let's learn a little bit more about Vanilla Blossom Flavors and its owner, David Best.
My name is David Best, and I am the president and CEO of Vanilla Blossom Flavors. I wanted to work with my father, actually, and he did this line of work back in the 70s and 80s and sold it in the 90s. He wanted to have a vanilla that was like Grand Marnier, and I like that. Our products range from obviously pure Madagascar vanilla extract, vanilla paste, vanilla beans, and we also do chocolate coffee extract. We have a whole range of spices and seasonings that we do as well. We have herbs, we have some grains, we have flaxseed, sesame seeds, and so far that's the brand, that's the product range. My background is when I was a young kid, I loved family, and when I got into business with my dad, I wanted to do it because of family. We have good quality products, they're affordable. I try to make the product so that pensioners can afford it. You see a lot of other products on the shelf that are in my other vanillas, and they're $30 for a bottle, and my bottle, which is a little bit bigger, is quite a bit more affordable. What separates Vanilla Blossom from my competition? 1, quality. 2, affordability. 3, a very incredible family feeling that we try to share with our clients, and they share back with us their experiences. We got a lot of irons in the fire with other retailers, so I'd love to get into 1,000 new stores by this time next year. Another one is our new manufacturing facility that we're going to be taking over in the beginning of 2023, and a new automated bottling line. The way that this program has helped me is to redefine my strategic plan, help me figure out my value proposition, why a customer should buy from us, and what stands us apart from the rest of my competition.
Hello. Such a great backstory, David. Thank you. Now let's hear from our panel. Joining Arlene is Charles Bahajar, Senior Category Manager, OTC, Health and Wellness from Metro. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Arlene, what advice do you have for David today?
Well, David, the story is fantastic. Again, these wonderful Canadian stories, and you on Vancouver Island, and trying to do something to, follow in your dad's generational footsteps. It's really great. I think, you're into spices and vanilla. You've got, again, quite a few places, but they all actually work together because they're all related and central to cooking. It's actually really good that you have some variety in your SKUs, because I could see people picking up a spice and a vanilla, or definitely all related. Best advice I have for you is, I think your packaging, while it's beautiful, I think it's kind of lost a little bit. I do love your bottle. I love that it's a reusable bottle, but I think you might want to take a look at your packaging and just make it a little more obvious, kind of that it's from Madagascar and that it's Canadian. There's something about your story that's missing here for me. This could be from anywhere, and I'd like to hear your story a little bit more. But other than that, I think you're onto something really smart. I love that it's Canadian. I love that it's from Vancouver Island, and I love that it's your family's history. So I don't really have much to tell you other than just maybe think about your package. A little bit dark for me, even though I know it's vanilla, and that's obvious to make it dark for that reason, because you want to have it see-through, etc. But think about the packaging to make it a little bit more lively. But other than that, I have really not much to tell you. I've used it already. I love it. Tastes great.
Thank you. Thank you for the input.
Charles, as a retail expert, what comments would you have?
Yeah, the comments I have, at least from a retail point of view, and same thing as Arlene said, it's a great story. Nothing brings family together like baking and cooking as a family. And I know, COVID brought that kind of back to life, where, people were posting sourdough breads every single day, but it was the idea of getting the family together, not only to have family meals, but to cook and bake as a family. So, kudos for that, to keep that going. For me, I haven't tried the product yet, but from a retail point of view, what I'm looking at is what sets you apart on the shelf. And I think, Arlene, you took a lot of my comments about the vanilla. I don't think you're getting credit for being Madagascar vanilla. I think that should scream out more. That would set you apart from your competition. Because again, we have several types of vanillas on our shelf as well, but when it comes from Madagascar, obviously the price point's a little different, but if your price value there, you should be able to scream out more that it's Madagascar. You got a customer in front of the section for like 3 seconds trying to determine what they're going to take, and you may be price parity to a lesser quality product, but you won't get credit for it. So I think Arlene articulated very well that I think maybe the font can come out more and scream that you're Madagascar. And then same with this. I like the value of this. From a retail point of view on shelf, my only concern or question is, how do the stores in your competition have certain size bottles, and racking in stores is gravitated towards that size of the bottle. I know when I tried to introduce something that didn't fit in that mold, it was hard to execute at store level. So if you're looking to get shelf presence, you want to make sure that, again, your packaging is going to scream, but you also got to look at the current fixtures. And I'm not just talking our metro stores. It's all our competition. If you take a look at the stores, we use quite similar racking, and not too sure how your product would fit on that to give it a just space. You don't want to be buried on the bottom shelf just because you're a larger bottle. So that's my only feedback. I'm looking forward to trying it, and and I love the story behind it. Product with a story behind it always sells better.
Thanks, Charles.
Anything else for you, David?
Well, I just want to thank you guys for giving me your input. I literally spend every waking moment, building this brand. As a matter of fact, we're just starting renovations on our new facility 3 doors down here, and so when sometimes you're sitting behind the desk and you think, hey, you know what, this package designer, she'll do a good job for me, and you rebrand, which I just did. I'll have to go to the drawing board again and get that done, but that's all part of the learning curve, But at the end of the day, Vanilla Blossom, we pump out good products. We got a good family here that works alongside me, and well, I call them vanilla fillers, because they fill into the bottle. So they're actually somewhere sitting right outside the screen here. But
is your father still around? Is he still alive?
no, my father passed away of colon cancer in 2013, and my mother when I was 9. And I know that you just went through something with your mom.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Well, I was going to say he's very proud of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we are expanding. We're already, nationwide in Sobeys with our vanilla beans. Some of this beautiful stuff right here.
Yeah, they smell so good. I couldn't wait to use them.
Can you smell that?
Yeah. You sent me some, so I have them.
Yes. So, hey, listen, I'll come make you guys all creme brulee at some point.
Perfect.
Anyways, thank you so much for this opportunity. Venturepark, I appreciate everything you've done for us. And Rob, you the man.
Awesome.
Thank you, David, Charles, Arlene.
Great job, David.
Thank you.
Only 2 companies left to watch. Let's hear from our next company, Be Kind Honey Flavors, and its founder, Kirsten Brolin.
My name is Kirsten Brolin, and I'm the CEO and founder of Be Kind Honey Infusions. I think the most important part and valuable part of my product is that I am also a beekeeper, and I produce the honey and then I infuse the honey with whole ingredients. I'm a honey producer and I'm not a honey packer. There's 2 totally different things, and most people don't realize that or recognize that when they see a honey product on the shelf. It's usually somebody else's honey that's repackaged in their own label. So I pride myself on being a honey producer. I get in there with the bees, I get stung lots, and then I produce this really good honey, quality honey, local honey. It means a lot to me to not skip corners and, produce everything myself and then infuse everything with whole ingredients. So it's a quality issue for me. When you start buying honey from others, you don't really know what's in it, where it comes from. Really, there's a lot of adulterated honey out there. All of my customers from farmers markets, I find, are so appreciative every time I'm at a farmer's market, and they always come to buy my honey in particular, just because it is something different. It's not something you see on the regular store shelves. So some of my goals are to increase my distribution, revenue, sales, get more of my product into people's hands, get them trying it. Once they try it, they tend to buy it because it really is a nice flavor. So I think increased distribution, get into more stores. I'd love to get across Canada into the States. The program and what I learned today really helped me focus on the things that were important to building my business and to scaling up my business. A lot of these things I didn't know before coming here today. So I find a lot of value in the program. It's going to be even networking with the different companies that are here and the partnerships that are here, I think is going to be a real benefit and asset to my company.
That was a sweet presentation, Kirsten. Very good. Joining Arlene now is our next panelist, Craig Hanna, founding partner of Power Sustainable Leos and board member for Venturepark Labs. Thanks for joining us. Arlene, what wisdom do you have to share with this entrepreneur?
Kirsten, honestly, I had beehives. I did my own honey when I had some land in Ontario, and I love the whole point of difference that you have, that you are a beekeeper, and you clearly are respectful of them, and even still when they sting you continue to go back, so that's impressive. But I have to tell you, the chai iced honey that you sent me is fantastic. The flavor profile is really, really good, and that's not easy because honey can have a variety, as you know, it can be the flavor profile can come from what the bees are the pollen they're collecting and where they're collecting it from, and etc. So I think Love the flavor. Love that you're a family business. Love that you're another BC entrepreneur. I think, scaling this, you're going to have to find a way to make sure you can make it at an affordable price, because as you've said, consumers aren't aware that honey is not always what they think it is. And so they compare something that I don't know what your price point is, but if this is $9 and they compare it to a $2 honey, that they look and say, oh, that's honey and honey's honey, but it's not. They're completely not the same product. So you have to find a way to make sure people understand the purity of this and the quality of it. And the fact that it's a family run business, I think, is going to also be helpful for you. Love the flavor. Keep going with it. Keep trying those new flavor profiles, and you'll do very well. You just
Thank you.
What would the world be without bees? It wouldn't be very good with it. So
There wouldn't be a lot of anything without bees.
There wouldn't be a lot of anything. So thank you for celebrating them, and thank you for innovating in the product, and I wish you well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Craig, I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on Be Kind Honey.
Thanks, Rob. Kirsten, really enjoyed hearing about your story, and I read a little bit more about it on your website earlier. Incredibly impressive that you're doing all of this yourself. Obviously, there's great benefits to consuming honey from a health perspective. There's great environmental benefits to having bees as pollinators and how important that is. As you think about expanding distribution and getting people consuming more of this, I was wondering, are there opportunities to help explain on either through package, video, media, how people can use it? Like, this is a lovely spreadable product. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I took some and put it in with hot water, and I've been drinking it as we've gone through all the presentations today. Just love to get your thoughts on how you're hearing people use the products.
Yeah, so for the chai in particular, we get a lot of people, I add it to my coffee as a sweetener. A lot of people add it to their tea. And then there are people that use it like just spread it on toast and just eat it straight like that.
It's delicious. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a great product. It's one of our best sellers. And so, yeah.
That's great feedback and advice on a very important animal and product in our environment. So thank you. Our last presentation for the day is coming up. Let's hear the inspiring story of Kidstar Nutrients and its award-winning founder, Caitlin Vanderhaeg.
My name is Caitlin Vanderhaeg, and I'm the president and CEO of Kidstar Nutrients. Kidstar Nutrients is a clean supplement line for the whole family. We never contain sugar, artificial colors, flavors, or harmful preservatives. We are great tasting, parents love the ingredients, and kids love the taste. I grew up in the natural health industry, and for 15 years, I ran the supply chain from raw material to finished good for a company called Lorna Vanderhaeg Health Solutions. And after the company was sold and the office was closed in Vancouver, I had my own daughters, and when one of them was iron deficient, we really ran into a problem of finding great quality products that she would take that I loved the ingredients of. And I knew there were other parents out there in the same situation, and from that, Kidstar was born. We're trying to step out and make sure we have clean products for our kids, better products for our kids, and really in that field, we're one of the few in Canada that are really pushing for that. And on top of that, the products taste great. We launched our first products in January of 2020, a few weeks before the provinces decided to close their doors to, everyone. So we finished our now 3 years of selling our products, and it's been an amazing experience. In year 1, we had about $100,000 in sales. In year 2, we hit $900,000, and for year 3, we're on track for $1.5 million. So now we're national across Canada in Sobeys, Superstore, Whole Foods, the independents like Nature's Fair, Blush Lane here in Alberta. So yeah, and a lot of the independents. It's been great. A huge milestone that we crossed was hitting the $1 million in sales. That was amazing. Also just being in national stores across Canada. That has been a top priority. Also, I think number one thing is our reviews. Having parents tell us how much they love our products is a huge milestone. This past fall at the Canadian Health Food Association, Kidstar won the Agent of Change Award, and also as the founder of Kidstar Nutrients, I won the RBC Women's One to Watch Award. So our big growth plans for 2023 is our plan is to double our revenue. So we want to hit $3 million in sales for Canada nationally next year. And also we want to make sure we're still helping out in in our community side, so Mamas for Mamas, wherever we can. We just finished a campaign for Children's Hospital on the superhero page. We donated together, I think, 26 inches of hair. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're hitting our goals in the business, but also our goals for the community as well.
Love your story and presentation, Caitlin. It's amazing. We now also have Monica Walker, Head of Food and Grocery for Healthy Planet Canada, joining Arlene. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Arlene, what do you see as the keys to success for KidStar?
Well, first of all, you've been very specific about the category. You take a knowledge in the vitamin category and said, okay, what about kids? And I really love that. I have to say, when I first thought, I thought, man, this is going to be tough, you know, another vitamin, and you know, there's so many vitamins out there. And then I started to look at it and understand a bit more about what you've done. And I'm not surprised that you've had the success that you've had. And I love how community focused you are as well. I mean, you're driven by purpose in terms of the product you're developing and designing, and how you care about the kids that are consuming it and what is in it, you know, like nothing to hide. I love I love that. And the fact that you're giving back in the community and thinking about how you can contribute that way. I think you need to probably figure out how you are going to continue to elevate the brand so that people will understand the brand is not just, it has the efficacy that it does, because part of the challenge is people are very afraid to buy products, especially in vitamins, that they don't know where the brand, or know enough about the brand, or understand where, if something isn't safe to give to my kids, is it good? So you have all of that. So you're just needing to get your story out more, and make sure that people are aware of you. So spending a lot of energy on marketing and promotion and brand, driving your brand, drive your brand. That's to all of the entrepreneurs today. Everybody focuses so much on sales, and sales are super important. Brand is incredibly important. So make sure that people know why they should buy and trust this brand for their children. But I love it. I think it's great. Congrats on, honestly, and to do that in 3 years in a tough category is no small feat. And I think we're going to hear a lot more from you in the future. So I wish you great success.
Thank you very much. No, I completely agree. This year is our education marketing year. So we are focusing on getting people to know what KidStar is, everything about it, the background, and really pushing everybody to the stores and websites to ensure that they have access to great quality products. So thank you very much, Arlene.
Welcome.
Monica, as a retail expert, what advice do you have for KidStar Nutrients?
Well, I'd just like to say first, congratulations, Kaylin. Great presentation. And now, obviously, I'm actually on the food and grocery side, which is interesting because I've sat through a lot of presentations all on food and grocery. But within the Healthy Planet, these are on the shelf. I double checked. So I went to my purchasing director. They're on the shelf. They're doing very, very well. But as a consumer and in this Healthy Planet team, you know, I do know whilst it's a busy section, it's a growing section. And actually, you know, where there's a good product, retailers will make space. And this is what struck me. We're all consumers. And I always say this, even as in our roles, we're consumers. So it's bright packaging. It stands out. It's clean. It's super clean. There's clean and then there's extra clean, which you obviously know from previous. What I also love, it's just very easy. Sometimes the littlest thing, you know, back to the Arlene's comment on safety and giving products to our kids. Your lot numbers are right there on the top. We don't have to turn, this is something I look for. You don't have to turn it upside down and look for that lot number and expiration date. You have attention to detail that's just done so well. So that's stand out on packaging. Obviously the clean, it's the vegan, the no soy, it's free from everything. And I think there's no confusion there. And that's often the question, as we know in the supplement space, you know, people are wanting that more because I'm in the food space with the allergies, but that it's exactly the same for your supplements. So we're all on board with helping you with those great goals, as you well know. I would exactly the same say it's the marketing. So, you know, we've got a new marketing team. It's all about getting this to be a household name. And I really think you do it. So well done again.
Thank you very much, Monica. I appreciate it. And it's true, you know, in the supplement space, there's so much on adults, and we're always focusing on adult health, but why not focus on kids so that when we become adults, we don't find out that we've been deficient for 25 years or find out we had a hormone problem. I would love to have that focus back on kids, get the education there, and ensure that, you know, we can live our lives, long, healthy lives, and not find out much later in life that we could have solved the problem much earlier. So thank you very much, Monica and Arlene. I appreciate it. And of course, Rob.
Well, thank you, Caitlin, Monica, and Arlene. That was great. What a day it's been. Amazing presentations from 10 amazing brands. Congratulations to the entrepreneurs and now graduates of the Venturepark Accelerator Program. Also, thank you to Sobeys, BMO, Tree of Life, and Tories for supporting this event, and to all our partners for helping us push the potential of Canadian entrepreneurs. Special thanks to today's panelists, to all the entrepreneurs for their hard work and dedication, and to all our sponsors for making it possible. Let's all come together to push the potential of Canadian entrepreneurs. On behalf of Venturepark Labs, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic evening.